Well, conflict in Mexico and a massive snowstorm moving through the Northeast is shutting down air travel. What delays you could be facing at the airport.
Plus, wildfire risks are going up, but funding to help fight fires might be going down. The damage shuttering cameras could have in Oregon forests.
And these cheerleaders are headed back to Tualatin as national champions. We catch up with them coming up.
Good morning, and thank you for joining us live at 8 o'clock. I'm China Green.
And I'm Matthew Herchick. Happy Monday. Rod Hill and Chris McGinnis standing by with a look at the weather and traffic. Ooh, going to be a soggy one, Rod.
Yes, not alarming weather today, but just absolutely steady rain. And we don't really get that many days where it's raining from the time you get up, and it really doesn't stop at any point during the day until you go to bed. And we think today could be one of those days. For that reason and that reason alone, we have a KGW weather impact alert up to let you know you're going to have the raincoat and the rain boots on as you head out the door. There's not much wind. The snow level currently is setting up at about 4,000 feet over the Cascade Passes. Here are the raindrops over our state capital this morning, 47 degrees. These temperatures will be holding pretty steady through the day, by the way, and Portland also at 47 degrees. So the impact alert just for the steady rain that will impact the way you have to go about your day. 46 at noon, about 44 at 5 p.m. Rain's in the forecast tomorrow as well. Here's Chris.
Rod, we got a wrench and a screwdriver. We might need a tow truck. That's what that icon means. We've got a disabled vehicle right now, northbound 217, just north of Allen Boulevard, and traffic's running pretty thick on that side of town. So as you make your way out the door, obviously you can see the rain, and the 217 commute northbound, especially pretty slow right now, all the way back to Greenberg Road. The rest of the freeway system, again, wet and slow. And by the way, Highway 26, we are still seeing some snow up at Government Camp. This camera is right near the turnoff to Timberline Road, which is right about there. And if you look closely, we're still seeing some snowflakes up there. So be prepared. Obviously still snowy in some of the Cascade Passes this morning. Guys, back to you.
Chris, thank you. Over the weekend, the Mexican army killed the leader of what's become Mexico's most powerful drug cartel.
The Defense Department says the cartel leader, often referred to as El Mencho, was wounded in an operation to capture him yesterday. He then died while being flown to Mexico City. After his death, cartel members set vehicles on fire to block military operations. He was a top target for the U.S. and Mexican governments who, according to White House Press Secretary Caroline Leavitt, was one of the top traffickers of fentanyl into the U.S. She also said the U.S. government provided information to support the operation. Last February, the Trump administration designated the cartel as a foreign terrorist organization.
Meantime, a large winter storm in the Northeast is causing flight delays and cancellations across the country.
Our Thomas Schultz is live from PDX this morning. Thomas, what are you seeing out there this morning?
Yeah, guys, we've seen departures from PDX to the Northeast been canceled all morning long. And check this out. We got one more still on the board. That's to NYC Newark. There were two to JFK canceled, one to Boston also canceled earlier this morning. Those have since been wiped off the board. But this all comes as the Northeast continues to just get pummeled by snow. 41 million people from Maine to Maryland are under a blizzard warning. In New York City, a travel ban is in place until 9 o'clock our time after the city got slammed with 15 inches of snow. Rhode Island, New Jersey, Pennsylvania, and Connecticut have all declared states of emergency. And up and down the Northeast from Philly to New York City, airports are dealing with a wide majority of flights being canceled this morning. Across the nation, there's already been 5,300 flight cancellations. And it's had an impact here at PDX too. Yesterday, 3 flights coming from New York City to Portland were canceled, and all 4 flights out of PDX to New York City also canceled. And get this, guys, a quarter of the nation's flights either fly in or out or over New York City. So when New York City airports have the snowstorms and the problems that we're seeing, not just there, but in Boston and Philly, it causes a wide problem and a ripple effect that we're still seeing here at PDX this morning and could continue to see throughout the day. Guys.
Thomas Schultz reporting live from PDX this morning. Thomas, thank you. And later on Sunrise, confusion over TSA PreCheck. We will have more details on why the Department of Homeland Security is now backtracking on its plans to temporarily shut down TSA PreCheck during the partial government shutdown. That story is coming up at 8:30.
To other local headlines, the WNBA announced the death of former star player Kara Braxton. She was just 43. The Oregonian reporting that she was killed in a car crash Saturday, but the league has not confirmed that. Braxton is a two-time WNBA champion who's played for 10 seasons. She spent most of her high school years playing for Westview High School in Beaverton. She's survived by her husband and 2 sons.
The Lincoln City Police Department now has a man in custody after a deadly hit and run on Friday. That happened on Highway 101 near Northwest 15th Street. 80-year-old Joseph Coffin was found injured and later died in the hospital. The police department says 45-year-old Juan Jimenez turned himself in yesterday after they found the car outside city limits.
An update to a crash involving an Amtrak train. Milwaukee police say they have found and cited the person who left a car on the train tracks Friday at the intersection of Southeast Harrison and Railroad Avenue. The police department says a driver missed the turn for a local business and got stuck on the tracks. They're using this incident to remind people not to try to get the car unstuck and to call 911 right away. Investigators in Washington County are looking into what caused a large house fire that displaced a family of 5 and their pets. Firefighters with Tualatin Valley Fire and Rescue were called just after 12:30 Saturday afternoon to Southwest Hillsborough Highway, north of Newburgh. That's where they found a 4-story log house engulfed in flames and threatening trees and nearby buildings. With the help from other fire districts, they were able to put out the fire, but not before the home's roof collapsed. Luckily, no one was hurt.
In Portland, 4 people were displaced after a fire in a home in the Brentwood-Darlington neighborhood on Saturday night. Firefighters put most of the fire out quickly, but clutter in the home made the response more difficult. The fire is still under investigation.
Researchers at the University of Oregon say the risk of wildfires is going up, but they are seeing less investment in the cameras that monitor those fires.
The university's hazards lab could lose 33 cameras unless the state can pull together at least $2 million in funding during this short legislative session. In total, the hazards lab monitors 180 cameras to keep track of wildfires. Researchers say one camera costs tens of thousands of dollars to operate. But the Oregon Department of Forestry says it can make a big difference and save lives and money in the long run.
That really just resolves to preventing a small fire from becoming large and then ultimately potentially saving thousands, if not millions of dollars.
Oregon state Democrats are expected to share more plans for the state budget this week.
As we get closer to wildfire season, meantime, it's important to make sure that you are prepared ahead of time. You can sign up for emergency alerts for your county anytime at oralert.gov. That way you'll get real-time alerts if there's an emergency like a fire evacuations in your area. You can also find a lot more information on wildfire preparation and prevention on the Department of Emergency Management's website and the State Fire Marshal's website as well.
It's 8:07. Time to get over to Rod for another look at the forecast. A very wet day, Rod, but no watches or warnings. We keep reminding people.
Yes, not for the coast, not for the mountains. It is snowing at pass level up on the mountains, but the snow up there could be kind of back and forth between a wet mix to snow to wet mix to snow. Here in the valley, we have an impact alert just because it's going to be raining all day. And if you're new to our area, we don't really get that many steady rain days where it's literally raining all day. And we think today will be one of those days. So plan some extra time just in case as you're out and about, and realize you will need your rain boots and your rain gear on. And I don't think we're going to get any breaks. So just plan on that as you're thinking about your Monday as well. Here's that solid sheet of rain moving up through the area. And again, the white is snow up into the Cascades. Oregon Zoo camera, again, if you're going to be at the zoo, you want your rain hat on, your rain boots. 45 is the temperature. The east winds that were noticeably breezy yesterday near the gorge, those have calmed. So we're not looking at much wind today. And temperatures are going to be fairly steady. In fact, these numbers right now, in some cases, could end up being today's high. 47 in Portland, 46 West Lim, 43 at 1,000 feet in Happy Valley. Silverton's at 42. There's 48 down in Albany and 48 degrees down in Corvallis. So it's a steady rain day, coast and valley, and also out through the gorge. Again, the snow level near to above 4,000 feet at times today. Some showers in central Oregon, Bend 53, and probably more dry time than wet out across the east. Your temperatures will be up to about 50 degrees today as well. Our 7-day forecast numbers, tomorrow will be day 4 in the finale of this rain event, but probably some breaks in the rain tomorrow. By Wednesday, I have added a scattered shower threat, but lots of dry time. Thursday's dry until perhaps late day into the evening. There's a low system coming in Friday. After that, Saturday, Sunday, maybe Monday, Tuesday of next week, all look dry for the most part. look to be sunny. Here's Chris McGinnis.
Well, by that time, we will have earned it, right? Let's get you out the door. We'll take you down to the Twilliger Curves. I-5 northbound traffic running, no problems, just running really, really thick here. This is the Twilliger on-ramp to northbound I-5, and you can see all 3 lanes slow and steady. That slowing extends back towards Capitol Highway and then again through Wilsonville and Tualatin as well. So we put all that together, and your trip north from Wilsonville right now just shy of 30 minutes. Also, the drive-in on the Sunset running a little thick as well. Let me take you out there. Can I? Let me go. Switch door number 2. Dewey. There we go. Door number 3, actually. That's the look from Cedar Hills Boulevard. From the position of this camera, it's really easy to see, right, how thick traffic is. That's the Murray Boulevard on-ramp and then out there towards the Bethany area. So that section of 26 is especially slow this morning. But that said, for a rainy morning, Matthew, we're not doing too bad out there just yet.
Good news, Chris. Thank you. Well, it was a home opener for the books, how the Portland Timbers started off the 2026 season over the weekend.
Get inside. Be caught that second set of
I'm Matthew Herchick, new morning anchor at KGW. I'm a huge sports fan, and I know I might be from the Buckeye State, but I'm excited to explore what the Rose City has to offer. I want to make sure you're prepared for the day, whether it's bringing you breaking news or sharing those inspirational stories that make you smile. We've got you covered. Because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to Portland's #1 streaming newscast, Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
We have now issued a weather impact alert.
We could expect conditions in some parts of our area to change drastically pretty soon, right?
And very quickly, yeah.
This is significant rainfall coming our way.
You'll definitely want to be extra cautious.
Certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
We've got the potential for some tree limbs or even trees or power lines to come down.
Of course, when you hear thunder, it's always best to take cover.
On Weather Impact Alert Days, stream extended coverage on KGW+.
Well, Olympians aren't the only ones making the nation proud. The Tualatin High School competitive cheerleading team just won nationals this weekend.
Libby Dowsett caught up with them in California as they celebrated their victory.
Team members were ecstatic, saying this win at the USA Spirit Nationals came as a surprise, even though this is Tualatin's 3rd national championship in competitive cheer in recent years.
It's been just like this surreal moment of winning 2 titles in 2 weeks and haven't really had a chance to just stop and think about everything they've done.
We honestly didn't expect it because there was a lot of teams that were winning. That was kind of unexpected.
Coach Crystal Corona and the team celebrating back-to-back state titles and a national cheerleading championship win.
We're going to Disneyland.
After a long year.
7, 8, 1, hold!
6 days on, 1 day off, and missing last year's nationals due to state being the same weekend.
They haven't seen us in a year. We have to come back and really just show them.
Considering themselves underdogs.
So we were in a very tough division this year.
They took home the big one.
We all knew we had to put our whole heart into it and get the job done.
We're gonna go in with our secret sauce is what we call it. And it's just having really great execution and really big confidence in what we do.
States are biggest, like that's what we work for all year. Nationals is just a little cherry on top. If we can get it.
This team showing their school, the state, and the nation. Tualatin has what it takes to fly high.
It's a very high standard we hold for ourselves. We want to be the best we can be.
The cheerleaders will receive their state rings and championship banners during their upcoming banquet. Libby Dowsett, KGW News.
Well, the Portland Timbers kicked off 2026 with an opening night thriller. Ari Lassiter with a go-ahead score in the 88th minute. His first goal for the green and gold. Kevin Kelsey set up the winner and secured the win to start the season 1-0. For fans, they say things couldn't have gotten off to a better start.
It feels like a small city team, and so it's fun to go out and see them, and they really love their fans. I love how they go out at the end of the game and just appreciate their fans. So you feel like you're part of the team and part of the game when you're out there.
Head coach Phil Neville says Cole Bassett was one of the best on the field. And up next for the team, the Timbers hit the road on Saturday, visiting the Colorado Rapids at 1:30.
So that was the Columbus Crew they beat, right?
Yeah.
From Columbus, Ohio.
Yeah.
The team from the Buckeye State.
Yeah.
Isn't that where you're from?
That's where I was. I was there. I watched it unfold.
Well, it looks like you got
The Crew got up 1-0 like 6 minutes into the game. I was like, all right, we're off and rolling. It was an eventful first half, but it was a fun experience, and the fans were great. We had a lot of fun.
Yeah.
So
Good.
You will learn, one of the great things about the city is this city loves soccer. And it's cool that for the most part we support the Thorns the same as the Timbers. It's really great.
Well, it was cool because like the Crew, we had like about a group of about 50 Crew fans just kind of up in the corner. So a lot of fans made the travel all the way from Ohio for the game. It was a fun experience. So
that's nice.
Two big fan bases.
They're on their way back home to Ohio right now, by the way.
Yeah.
Okay, here's a look at our steady rain day with our KGW weather impact alert. And again, the alert is simply for this. It's just a steady rain day. We don't think we're going to have any breaks. So maybe you're going to be canceling your plans. If you're going to be outdoors, make sure you have your raincoat and your boots on. Again, we just don't think there's going to be any stoppage of the rain today. The rain totals have been manageable. I did take the time to look at river projections last night and again this morning. There just aren't any concerns out there. Even the Wilson River in Tillamook County, Saturday rain, Sunday rain, today rain, tomorrow rain, is not going to get up to even 10 feet, and that flood stage is 16. So that gives you an idea that we're handling all this water. North Bend 2.59. These are over the last 48 hours. Tillamook about 1.25 inches. Portland only 6700s. Salem 77 100s. 82 on Vancouver, and just over 1/2 inch of rain up in Kelso. So been active weather, but again, we're handling everything okay. Up in the high country, the snow level's been a little bit lower than 4,000 feet this morning. That's just below the pass level on Mount Hood. Could bounce up a little bit above 4,000 feet during the day, but it's not going to get far from 4,000 one way or the other. That is snow showing up in white up in the Cascades. This is just rain over the highways in the Coast Range. And where we had that snow, but not looking for enough melt off to really see a concern there either. So that's really good news. Here's our Rose City camera, 47 degrees. We think temperatures are going to be holding pretty steady today. It's possible that this is our high point today, actually. 47 Salem, Portland, 48 Eugene, 42 out in the Dalles. Everybody's above freezing on the map right now, including 46 degrees for you out in Baker City. Futurecast, 9 o'clock this morning, rain, 5 o'clock. Some showers out east, but you can see this is mostly channeling coming up from the southwest, bumping in the Cascades, rain through the gorge and out in the Columbia Basin. Again, just rain. And the winds in the gorge that were noticeably gusty yesterday, those faded last night. So there's not any wind beyond like 15 miles per hour today either. Steady rain all day. That's the headline with the KGW impact alert. 48 degrees in Salem, Southwest Washington, about the same. In fact, 47 Longview and Battleground. Now, tomorrow's day 4 of this rain event, if you go back to Saturday and count them. But there probably will be some breaks in the rain tomorrow, 50 degrees. And then by Wednesday, I've added a lingering scattered shower threat, but a lot of dry time, not a bad day. Thursday could be all dry. I'm watching the chance, and this is rain that could hold to our north, but I'm watching a chance of something late Thursday into Friday. And then beyond that, the weekend looks all dry and sunny. In fact, the weekend into next week looks like a little run of sunny days. Here's Chris.
Well, that looks awesome. All right, a reminder, since it's going to rain all day, it is state law. If you need your wipers, you need your headlights on. So just remember that. Anytime you have a visual obstruction like rain and reduced visibility, you need to keep those headlights going. And I see we're doing that just fine over on the Terwilliger curves. I-5 northbound traffic still running a little thick there as it is over on the west side. We'll give you the look from Cedar Hills Boulevard And there you can see that rainy drive coming in from Bethany and Murray to Cedar Hills. Right now, that trip in from Hillsborough is averaging about 24 minutes at last check. Back to the Terwilliger curves. I-5 northbound traffic obviously running thick and slow and steady there. Your drive from Wilsonville at last check is up to 30 minutes. Matthew, China, back to you.
Chris, thank you. Well, our photojournalist Eric Patterson is giving us a live look at I-84 westbound through the Hollywood district there. You can see traffic, of course, backing up, and his windshield wipers still moving very quickly. So keep an eye out on the roadways as you head out the door this morning. Of course, a few reminders from AAA for driving in the rain. Make sure that your headlights are on. Slow down as always and give yourself some extra room. And avoid using cruise control and slamming on your brakes. Now, if visibility is low, do not drive with your hazard lights on. That can confuse other drivers. Get off on the road and pull into a safe place if you're on city streets. Take the next nearest exit if you are driving on the interstate.
More than 80 years ago, hundreds of thousands of Japanese Americans were incarcerated. How the moment in history is being remembered and the parallels survivors say they are seeing today.
Hi, I'm Christine Padawanich. I'm a journalist at KGW, and I love exploring Portland's amazing food scene. New spot? I'm there. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. What happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the good stuff that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
A missing hiker was rescued Friday in part thanks to the U.S. Coast Guard. They helped Josephine County Office search and rescue after the hiker was reported missing Monday. The hiker was found near Greenwall Rapids in the Illinois River Valley and taken to the hospital.
Hundreds gathered at Elizabeth Carruthers Park yesterday as part of Japanese Internment Remembrance Week. It's been 84 years since the U.S. incarcerated more than 1,000 Japanese Americans and immigrants. People there told us they're worried that current policy draws parallels to that period in history.
Jake Holter explains.
We have to stop history from repeating itself.
Joni Komodo was 4 years old when she and her family were forced from their home during World War II.
I was interned in 1942. I spent 4 months at the Portland Assembly Center, and then I was sent to Minidoka, Idaho, an internment camp. And we were there for 2-3 years.
That lived experience informing her position today, denouncing the actions of ICE.
It is parallel. It is exactly the same. Our government is forcibly taking people away from their lives and putting them without due process of law into places that they shouldn't be, into detention.
Portland City Councilor Tiffany Koyama Lane's family also interned during the war.
My family was forced into the camps during World War II. They went to Topaz, Utah and Gila River, Arizona. And so much of what we saw at that time is being repeated again. And so it's really important that we're coming out and standing up and saying that never again actually means right now.
Sunday's event saw musical tributes and and candlelight vigils.
I think this is just a really important day for the Japanese American community, and we have a voice based on the stories from our history that really need to be shared.
Rally goers then marched down to the ICE facility and back in protest of the Trump administration. Komodo urging like-minded people to continue in the fight.
Keep your faith, be resilient, and look forward to a better day, because it will come.
Jake Holter, KGW News.
Tomorrow marks 4 years since the start of the Russia-Ukraine war. Dozens of people gathered at Lake Union Park in Seattle calling for international solidarity. The rally was organized by Russian Seattle for Freedom, who says the Russian community wants an end to the war.
They support free Ukraine, they support new government for Russia, they want changes, and they don't want no more killings in Ukraine, either Ukrainian or Russian people.
A temporary memorial was also on display in memory of those who have died in the war.
Was paying for a TSA pre-check actually getting you through security faster? What the Department of Homeland Security is clearing up. Plus, the 2026 Winter Olympics are now over and athletes are bringing home plenty of gold. What you missed over the weekend from Team USA.
KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
I'm Trina Green, a morning anchor at KGW and new dog mom to this sweet guy. Meet Barry. I love getting your mornings off to a great start, whether it's sharing stories of resilience and triumph in our community, or following breaking news from Beaverton to Gresham and everywhere in between. We've got you covered, because when news moves fast, you need a team that moves with you. Make the move to KGW Sunrise, weekday mornings from 5 to 9, anywhere you watch.
Good morning, I'm China Green. Oregon Congresswoman Janelle Bynum is pushing legislation that would require Customs and Border Protection to quickly refund tariffs to businesses out of its own budget. She says that the Relief Act would level the playing field for businesses, since many small companies aren't able to afford expensive litigation to recoup their losses. She also says it would cut out the long application process for businesses and require refunds from the feds within 90 days of enactment. Headed over to Rod Hill now for a look at weather.
You saw the red impact alert flash right there on your screen. Not for storminess, not for flooding concerns, but just to let you know it's going to be a steady rain day. So if you're going to be outdoors, you're going to need your rain boots and your raincoat, and don't wait for that dry break because I don't think it's coming. Here's the Reserve Vineyards and Golf Club out in Aloha. That's west side. Here's east side, Camas Meadows Golf Course. Everything's going to look like this all day with generally moderate rain falling. We're at 47 right now. We'll be mid-40s at noon. It's possible that where we're at right now is going to be near the high of the day. More rain at times tomorrow. It'll be much quieter with just a few scattered showers midweek and then also Thursday night into Friday.
Good morning. Mark your calendars because it's almost that time of year to go biking without clothes.
Let's go.
The annual World Naked Bike Ride is returning to the Rose City on
Matthew
Saturday.
said, let's go.
Well,
he's going to fit right in.
So this is happening on Saturday, July 25th. The perfect summertime activity. If you really believe the phrase "sun's out, buns out," according to their website, the Naked Bike Ride is part protest, part celebration to call attention to things like oil dependency while celebrating body freedom. The time and location of the Naked Bike Ride is still TBD.
I remember running this story when I was in Columbus and other markets. It was such big.
Running this story about Portland.
Yeah. Because it was just such a unique event.
And it goes on for about an hour. And I know this because it went right past our house one year. About 8 years ago. I'm like, what is that? What am I? It's the boom box is going, the sirens going, and then after about an hour, the Portland police were on the back end of it saying, no, that's it, we're done. It was like an hour. There had to be thousands of people going down our street naked.
Oh, wow.
Kids, get in your room.
Go to bed.
It's important to note, apparently there's a reason for this.
All right, would you rather do the polar plunge or the naked bike ride, Rod?
Oh my gosh, if those are my two options, I do hate cold water. I'll leave it at that, man. I hate cold water. I'm nothing to look at, but you don't have to look. Here's a look at our Doppler radar showing the steady rain moving up into the area, the snow up in the Cascades. It's been snowing near pass level this morning, and the snow level, give or take, is going to be below to just above during the day today. The steady rain, we think the headline for Portland, Salem, and Vancouver will not let up. It'll just be moderate rainfall for the most part throughout the entire day. And that's why we have the impact alert up. It's just one of those days that if you're going to be outside, you're going to be dealing with the rain. All right, Salem sky camera, 47 degrees. Temperatures expected to hold fairly steady today. Not much wind either. PDX east-southeast at 5 and 47 degrees. Here's the impact alert just for the rainy Monday to grab your attention. 46 degrees at noon and 44 at 5 o'clock. You know, rain totals have always been well below an inch for the 24-hour period going back to Saturday. So, Chris, I think I'm right when I say we're not really having difficulties with ponding on roadways. Is that a fair
statement? But at some point, you know what, there's those puddle spots that are always there, right? I know I passed two on my drive in, specifically I-5 near the Morrison Bridge, the left lane. There's always a puddle there. No matter what ODOT does for it, there's always a puddle that's got 1 inch to 2 or 3 inches of water in that southbound left lane. Meanwhile, up in the mountain, it's still snowing. This is Highway 26 at Government Camp. So this camera just shy of 4,000 feet shows the road's actually in better shape now than it was earlier this morning. But be aware that Cascade passes are still snowy. Down low, of course, it's rainy, it's slow. There's your inbound Sunset from Cedar Hills Boulevard. The headlights there. That's the Murray on-ramp, and then back out that direction is towards Bethany, and that drive's still running pretty thick, as is the trip northbound through the Twilliger curves. This is I-5 northbound near Twilliger. Trip in from Wilsonville at last check, holding steady right around 30 minutes. Matthew, China, back to you.
Chris, thank you. The classes are canceled today at Santiam Canyon School District for all students K through 12 and building staff. The district says it's due to water issues at Santiam Junior Senior High School. They did not share more details about the issues.
In a reversal from previous plans, the Department of Homeland Security now says TSA PreCheck will remain operational for now.
DHS had said that PreCheck would be suspended due to a funding lapse in the department. Sunrise reporter Thomas Schultz is live at PDX with more.
We've been at PDX all morning long, and as you would generally expect in the course of a morning, we've seen ebbs and flows at times, boarding being packed behind us, though right now it's been pretty quiet. Still, those pre-check lines have been open and will continue to be open, at least for now, though that could change. TSA says they will evaluate on a case-by-case basis and could adjust operations based on staffing constraints. TSA allows vetted passengers to use PreCheck to bypass security check-in lines and just get through TSA a little bit more quickly. The suspension of PreCheck was supposed to begin Sunday morning. It all comes as DHS faces a lack of funding as Democratic and Republican lawmakers continue to negotiate over a DHS funding package back in Washington, D.C. Democrats have pushed for restrictions on immigration enforcement agents and are asking for mandatory body cameras, a ban on agents using face masks, and a requirement for judicial warrants for immigration arrests. Though in a statement, DHS Secretary Kristi Noem said, quote, shutdowns have serious real-world consequences, not just for the men and women of DHS and their families who go without a paycheck, but it endangers our national security. And this DHS shutdown has been going on for quite some time, beginning back on February 14th. Though as of right now, those PreCheck lines are open here at PDX, and as you can see right behind us, those lines are moving smoothly. At PDX, Thomas Schultz, KGW News.
A federal investigation is underway this morning after Secret Service agents and a sheriff's deputy shot and killed a man outside President Trump's Florida home.
It happened early Sunday morning while the president was hundreds of miles away. NBC's Chris Pallone has more.
Federal investigators are trying to figure out why a North Carolina man showed up outside President Trump's Florida estate carrying a gas can and brandishing a shotgun. The Palm Beach County Sheriff says it happened around 1:30 Sunday morning. 2 Secret Service agents and a sheriff's deputy confronted the man who entered the secure area around Mar-a-Lago.
He was ordered to drop those 2 pieces of equipment that he had with him, at which time he put down the gas can, raised the shotgun to a shooting position. At that point in time, the deputy and the 2 Secret Service agents fired their weapons and neutralized the threat.
Law enforcement sources told NBC News the suspect is 21-year-old Austin Tucker Martin. He died at the scene. Martin's family reported him missing earlier on Saturday. The Secret Service said no one it protects was at Mar-a-Lago at the time.
We want to be clear, the President of the United States was not in the state of Florida. And this remains an active investigation by the FBI.
President Trump stayed in Washington over the weekend, hosting Republican governors at the White House a few hours before the shooting.
I invite everyone in this room to bring forward ideas and opportunities to better serve our people, and in turn, never hesitate to let us know if there's anything we can do for you.
The president spent much of the weekend dealing with the fallout from Friday's Supreme Court decision ruling many of the tariffs he's imposed on foreign imports are illegal. In response, Mr. Trump said Saturday he is now raising global tariffs to 15% under a different law. Chris Pallone, NBC News.
Leaders around the world are reacting to President Trump's Saturday announcement that he's raising global tariffs to 15%, as you just heard. Now that's up from 10% that he imposed just a day earlier. This comes in response to the Supreme Court, which struck down his previous far-reaching global tariffs on Friday. But the High Court's ruling only applies to the duties Trump imposed using one specific law. The law Trump is now relying on for his new 15% tariffs require that Congress approve the duties within 150 days for them to remain in effect. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent says lower courts will have to weigh in on potential tariff refunds as the High Court didn't address them.
Oregon Democratic Congresswoman Janelle Bynum is pushing legislation that would require Customs and Border Protection to quickly refund tariffs to businesses out of its own budget. She says that the Relief Act would level the playing field for large and small businesses, since many small companies aren't able to afford expensive litigation to recoup their losses.
That small businesses have passed some of these costs on to consumers. They've eaten their own profits, or they've held off on making investments in their business, whether it's equipment or in human capital.
Bynum says that the Relief Act would cut out the long application process for businesses and require refunds from the feds within 90 days of enactment. President Trump has said striking down his tariffs would be an economic body blow to the country.
But I do think everything correlates from him being taken and being broken down so much that his body couldn't take it anymore.
The family of a Beaverton man who was deported 3 months ago says he died in Mexico after battling pneumonia. Paulino Martin had lived in Beaverton for more than 30 years when his family says he was pulled over by ICE on his way to lunch with his wife in November. He He was deported to Mexico 3 days later. He was 53 years old. And we talked more with his son about his deportation and funeral service. You can find that full story on our KGW YouTube page or streaming anytime on KGW+.
All right, your time now is 8:39. Headed over to Chris McGinnis for a look at traffic.
Wet and slow out there in some cases this morning, guys. And a good reminder, anytime it's raining and anytime low visibility conditions exist, you do have to have your headlights on, right? That's Oregon law. So just to give you the reminder about that, lots of windshield wipers going and a slow I-5 commute as well through North Portland. There we go. This is up near Lombard. We had an earlier disabled vehicle down near the Moda Center. That's out of the way, but the trip in from Clark County is still about 23 minutes. You get you in from Main Street south of the Fremont Bridge. Over on the east side, this is I-205, not far from Johnson Creek Boulevard. There's your northbound commute. That is slow and steady in that direction for sure. And, well, I got the wrong drive time to show you there. Sorry about that. I want to remind folks about this. Today and tomorrow, the Hawthorne Bridge undergoing bridge inspection. And so the county is going to have multiple lifts of the Hawthorne lasting up to about 20 minutes a pop, both today and tomorrow. So if that's part of your commute, just expect some extra delays in and around the Hawthorne Bridge. Matthew, back to you.
Chris, thank you. Well, taking a dip for a good cause, why people were jumping into the Willamette despite the freezing temperatures.
Hey there, everybody. Here at ShopTVDeals.com, we love to bring you products that actually work. Take a look at this if you have clogged drains. This is Professor Amos's super fast drain cleaner. So no matter what kind of plumbing you have, or maybe you have a septic system, this will cut through all that standing water in your sink or shower or your floor drain. Here are our friends now at Professor Amos to explain exactly how it works.
Hi, I'm Amos III, and one of the things that you're gonna love about Professor Amos cleaning products is for 50 years we've been a family-owned business, and all of our cleaning products are made right here in the USA. We have an innovative drain cleaning method. I can go right over top of those standing chemicals and through that standing water with the same 4 to 6 ounces, and you can see no chemical reaction. It gets right through that, and it still starts to break down. Last week's food, last month's food, or even last year's food. It turns it all into foam like it's designed to do. It's all been broken down by being saponified. Now you run hot water for up to 5 minutes and watch this. Everything passes right through the drain line and it comes back squeaky clean every time you do it.
Yep, it really is that easy. Why would you give a bunch of money to a plumber when this cleaner here may do just the trick? So for 27% off, just scan that QR code at the bottom of your screen or check us out at ShopTVDeals.com.
The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust on your time. Track how the weather will impact your day.
It's certainly becoming increasingly hazardous.
Extended, continuous coverage of breaking news live from the scene.
That snowpack is still heavy.
Go deeper with in-depth interviews and exclusive reporting. All the local news you need, live or on demand. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. The KGW Plus TV app, streaming 24/7. Local news from the team you trust. Track how the weather will impact your day. Breaking news live from the scene. All the local news you need. KGW Plus. Download on your TV and watch for free. On Weather Impact Alert Days, stay informed, prepared, and connected with KGW and KGW Plus. Coverage that alerts you to what's coming and how it will impact you. Watch extended weather coverage on KGW Plus.
Over the weekend, hundreds of people braved the cold, jumping into the freezing water at Willamette Park for Oregon's Polar Plunge. Since Friday, people were plunging every 24 hours straight. Then at 11 a.m. on Saturday, community members were invited to take part in a super plunge. All of that money supports roughly 5,000 athletes across the state with what they need to participate in the Special Olympics throughout their entire life. That includes transportation, food, coaching, venues, and uniforms.
The Polar Plunge is our biggest fundraiser of the year to help fuel 3 seasons of sport for thousands of athletes across the state.
Having IDD, it is hard to find a place that we fit in, so Special Olympics Oregon gives us that community.
Portland is one of the 6 cities hosting the plunges. The nonprofit aims to raise $563,000. So far, they've raised more than $400,000. The next stop is Bend on February 28th.
The medal count is brought to you on KGW by On Point Community Credit Union.
All right, we are taking one final look at our Winter Olympics medal count. The U.S. ended up second for overall medals with 33 in total, including 12 golds.
One of those golds came from an intense game between the U.S. and Canada's men's hockey teams. Now, for the first time in almost 50 years, the gold medal in men's hockey belongs to the U.S. Taking the game into overtime, Team USA held its own against the defending champs in a rematch a lot of fans were looking forward to. A lot of close calls, but Connor Hellebuck, he still came away as one of the stars of the game, blocking 41 out of 42 shots. But it was Jack Hughes during overtime who really secured the gold.
And speaking of gold, Team USA won its most golds in a single Winter Olympics. And it's all thanks to the women of America taking home more than half of the gold medals. From the first gold medalist of the Games, Breezy Johnson, to comeback stories in Alyssa Liu and the women's hockey team. Team USA owes 7 of its 12 gold medals to the women.
There we go. 8:46. Rod is on the roof.
Yes.
The roof. Are you
all right? I'm not the smartest guy. You guys realize that. My resume is borderline impressive, but I can tell you this is what a 100% chance of rain looks like.
Great job.
Thank you very much, China. We're in front of the roof. The KGW weather deck, actually brought to you by Rick's Custom Fencing and Decking. They did build us a cover, so like where I'm standing right now, I'm good. It's a moderate rain. Visibility's not bad. I'm looking well up over the West Hills, and there's not much wind, and I really think it's not that cold. It's just a good old-fashioned moderate rain day, and for that reason, we have a KGW weather impact alert up because we think it's one of those days where the rain literally will not stop. There won't be a dry break. So you're going to have to deal with the rain in your rain boots and your rain gear if your plans today call for you to be doing some things outdoors. This is the setup that produced day 1 of this 4-day rain event back on Saturday and will continue through day 4 tomorrow. Upper lows offshore, you can see the solid fetch of moisture that's moving into our area. And again, that will not really break up. So far, we talked about this back on Friday, we're not getting enough rain to really cause difficulties in terms, we don't have any flooding risk. There's no watchers or warnings, nothing like that. Over the last 48 hours, we have picked up over 1 inch of rain at the coast, but you've got to get down to North Bend to find amounts over 2 inches. Salem 77 100ths, Portland 0.67, and similar amounts. Actually, just a little bit more than 1/2 inch by the time you get up to Kelso. Now, it's very possible, and I think actually it will be true, that today will end up being the wettest of the 4 days with no breaks in the rain and just moderate rainfall. Models give us about 3/4 of an inch of rain today. I mean, maybe we get up to 1 inch. Again, I've checked all the river levels, everything, there's no concerns. It is snowing up in the Cascades at pass level, and that snow level today is going to be back and forth somewhere near government camp of 4,000 feet. There's our live seaside camera. You can see the clouds and, of course, rain being reported there as well. Downtown Portland, it is raining, I can tell you that. 47 is the number. Temperature is expected to hold fairly steady today, so these numbers we currently have could end up being right around where the high is going to be. 46 up in Kelso, It's in the low 40s out through the gorge, where it is raining steadily out through the East Gorge this morning as well. So temperatures mid to upper 40s, winds generally to 15. Similar setup up in southwest Washington, 47 degrees up in Longview. And here comes our 7-day forecast. So the impact alert today for the steady rain. Tomorrow, still a wet day, but I think there will be some breaks. And then by Wednesday, we're done with it. A lingering scattered shower threat. Thursday looks pretty dry for much of the day as well. A little bit of rain on Friday, potentially. Friday's rain could hold to our north, just something I'm watching. The weekend looks really nice. Hey, it is birthday time. All right, let's get you going with our party. And up first, we have a bunch of one-year-olds today, which is really cool. Here's Alonzo, who's 1 today. Happy birthday to you. Hudson is 1 today as well. Happy birthday. And also celebrating being 1 today is Vivian, super cute. Happy birthday to you. And Benjamin today, out there, budding track star looks like, likes to run apparently, 11 years old. Happy birthday to you. Vitaly is 39. Hope you have a wonderful day today out there along the water. And also celebrating is Anita, who is 60 today. Hope you have a really great birthday. Happy birthday to you. And that is our list. Send us your photos of birthdays at kgw.com and we will celebrate with you. So Chris McGinnis, my headline is the rain percent is currently at 100%, sir.
I'm glad that we sent you up there to verify that. It's always nice when we can get, ground truth to the actual, what the radar's showing. All right, let's go ahead and pick it up on the west side. There's 217 over near Hall Boulevard, or Greenberg, I should say. The northbound commute here has been pretty slow this morning. We had some earlier trouble up near TV Highway. That disabled vehicle cleared, but the drive's still a little thick. I-5 southbound through North Portland. There's the ODOT reader board. Use caution in the rain, of course. Moving along southbound at about 11 miles an hour. That's still one of our thickest drives at 23 minutes to get you in from Main Street to the Fremont Bridge. Also running pretty slow right now, the inbound Banfield, specifically inside of 82nd Avenue. Right now we're looking at 34 minutes total to get you in from Troutdale to the I-5 split. We'll be right back.
I'm David Molko, the evening anchor at KGW. Though when I'm not working, I like to spend as much time as possible out here in nature. So I don't just report about our community, I belong to it. You see, what happens here affects us all, and that's why we care so deeply about getting it right. And when local journalism is done right, it doesn't sit still, it moves. It moves you to act, to vote, to volunteer, to talk about it, to speak up, or to lend a hand. It moves your mind by challenging assumptions and offering new perspectives. It moves you forward by giving you the information to make decisions and thrive where you live. And yes, it moves your heart through the kind of human storytelling that stays with you wherever you are. And at KGW, we're here for all of it. These are the stories that move Portland.
In a wrap of our top stories this morning, classes are canceled today in the Santiam Canyon School District for all students K through 12 and building staff. The district says it's due to water issues at Santiam Senior High School. They did not share more details about that issue. In reversal from its previous plans, the Department of Homeland Security says TSA PreCheck will remain open for now. TSA PreCheck was supposed to be temporarily shut down starting yesterday morning. DHS is currently facing a lack of funding as lawmakers continue to negotiate a DHS funding package. Now TSA says it will evaluate on a case-by-case basis and could adjust operations based on staffing constraints. And Oregon Congresswoman Janelle Bynum is pushing legislation that would require Customs and Border Protection to quickly refund tariffs to businesses out of its own budget. She says that the Relief Act would level the playing field for large and small businesses, since many small companies aren't able to afford expensive litigation to recoup their losses. She also says it would cut out the long application process for businesses and require refunds from the feds within 90 days of enactment.
And we have the weather impact alert up today simply because it's going to be a steady, moderate rain day. Rain amounts probably higher today than they were Saturday or Sunday, but no flooding concerns. That's important to note. A high of 48. Tomorrow, another rainy day, but there will be some breaks in the action and lots of dry time by the time we roll into Wednesday and Thursday.
Plenty of road spray and puddle splash to be had on the roads. We were on puddle patrol this morning. The good news is we haven't had any major freeway issues, but you can see we're still running a little thick, a little slow in the rain. Right now, the drive in from Troutdale, one of our slowest commutes, I-84 westbound, moving along at about 35 miles an hour. And hey, there's a good reminder. Wipers on, lights on. It's state law. Probably is state law in most states, but in Oregon, yes, you are required to have your lights on anytime limited visibility conditions exist, like when it's raining.
Do you guys ever look at other drivers to see like how fast their windshield wipers are going and wondering if you're like being dramatic or not?
Oh,
no.
No, not really. That's a big no for us three.
Okay.
I just
Mine are going fast.
I feel like I should be paying attention to the road if I'm coming.
Whatever.
Yeah, me too, man.
Controversy here.
Also, as Rod said, don't slam on the brakes unless you have to.
Yeah, if you're going to hit something, put the brakes on hard. Yeah.
That's what the guardrail's for.
Yeah.
Just kidding.
Hey, a reminder, you can catch Sunrise Everyday Live exclusively here on KGW Plus starting at 7 o'clock. We also have added another half hour of news at 12:30 and 5:30 right here on Plus. We hope to see you then. Have a great day. See you tomorrow morning.